Joe. Thank you for that update.
This whole video shows this.
Welcome back to Mainstreet. Today we're talking about something a little bit different.
Today we want to introduce a new concept to you guys, which we want to call Sneakernomics 101. Because we feel like we discuss the aesthetics and the hype behind shoes quite often, but there is a financial aspect to this.
I mean, especially for us, considering the idea that we're building, or we have built a certain amount of a business out of this, shoes to us are a lot more than just a luxury good or a fashion accessory or commodity. We look at them as commodities that we can trade, that have certain market values, that have a demand-supply dynamic.
And we know the concept sounds a little strange, but just bear with us because I'm sure we can help you draw parallel between a sneaker and like any other financial instrument you can invest in today at the open market.
When, for example, most recently when the blacks dropped, the Easy 350 V2 non-reflective blacks dropped all over India, before the drop, everybody anticipated that it would hit about 30K post-release. And so somebody hit us up in advance saying, I'll pay you an advance, and not the whole resale price, but I'll pay you the advance if you manage to get me a pair retail. So that dude managed to get a pair at just 26 grand in the UK 9, which the same date of release was worth 35. A couple of weeks later, people were paying 40, 45 even for the same pair.
So I guess even though he bought in at a resale price, he knew that because of his anticipated price, he knew that buying in at 26K still made sense. And this is basically on a broad base what we want to discuss today. So, I mean, let's just take the most common example of all, starting with the off-white Nike Chicago. So the original 10 came in like 2017, which is at a really bad time for Nike. Nike shoes were like flops in the aftermarket. Nothing was going for a decent resale price. Some would even actually lose value below retail. At the time, or a year before actually, Kanye in his song Facts made a statement saying Yeezy just jumped over Jumpman. And he wasn't exactly off. At the time, Adidas as a brand overtook the Jumpman, the Jordan brand. And this was primarily because Yeezys were killing in the aftermarket when Nikes were flopping. So Nike had to bring in the most legendary designer, I think, of our time.
I mean, maybe not of our time, but currently at least, Virgil Abloh is considered to be one of the hottest assets in the fashion scene today. Starting off with Off-White back in 2013 is when he picked up all his hype. 2017 is when we saw Off-White Nike and create all of that hype. And last year when we saw
him take over Louis Vuitton, he took the helm of Louis Vuitton. All this actually does help Nike. The better Off-White does, the better Virgil Abloh does as a designer, the more his shoes are going to appreciate in value.
Exactly.
So the shoe dropped to about $200 and went and I think the immediate after resale price was anything between $1,200 to $1,500.
So when Chicago just dropped, you could even get them for $1,000.
Yeah.
You get them $1,000. So again, let's compare this in rupees. $200 was retail, about 15,000 rupees. Right after drop, they were worth 70, 80 grand. Ridiculous, right? That's some beautiful appreciation.
But now assuming that you've let time pass a little, and this is shortly after the resale price of $1,500, right? At this point, then people thought this is an obscene price because this is was one shoe as a part of 10 shoe package,
And it stayed there, right? It stayed at $1,500 to $2,000 for I think good 6 months after release.
Now, even if you had bought it then, presently you can get at least $3,500 on that shoe.
If not more, if I'm not mistaken, around maybe an average UK 9 US 10 is about $4,500 to $5,000 for a dead stock pair, which is 3.5 lakhs almost. That's ludicrous. That means even buying in at $1.5 lakh, you're multiplying your money 3 times over. That was absolutely crazy.
Even though this was just one shoe of 10 that were released at the time, the reason why the Jordan 1 did I think better than the rest of them had probably three key factors here. Starting with the fact that it's a popular silhouette. I think of all silhouettes that Virgil collaborated with, the Jordan 1 is probably the most popular pair amongst the
100%.
People. Number 2, it's the first one. It's the OG, Since then,
the 10, it was the first one.
Even in the Jordans, since then, there's been 3 iterations of the Jordan. There's been the Chicago, there's been the all-white Jordan, and there's been the University Blue or the UNC. This was the first one of them all. This kicks it off. And for the third point, it's a big name collaboration. It came with Virgil Abloh, who, as Vedu said, is one of the hottest designers in the world today.
I think what Khush is really trying to make as a point here is that very often people attach hype and market value to just limited nature or just the quantity or just exclusivity. But these things are most certainly not single dimensional. Market value is appraised based on supply and demand, of course, but it also ties down to how popular, how easily likable, or how pleasing the palette of the colors are, how like the silhouette is, who the designers, and what the story is. You know, we're not all here just to buy something just because other people can't have it.
Now, going by these same principles, you can also look at other shoes, you know. Like for example, this year's Travis Scott Jordan 1. You know, Travis has previously collaborated with Nike on 2 colorways of the Air Force, the Fight and the Sail.
Also the Cactus Jack 4s.
The light blue, and you know, all had a decent resale value. So also, it only made sense that when he released the Jordan 1, it would also do exceedingly well.
And that in fact had a crazy amount of hype building up to release. Before release, I remember early pairs were going for $2,000 plus. So people were really amped for release, thinking that it's gonna go and stay in the mid-$1,000 to $2,000.
I think if you were to buy the shoe in the immediately after release, like a day or two,
That was a slight bit of disappointment, remember?
slight. I think you could still get the shoe at
$800
$700-800.
$700-800
yes.
And people kept saying that because I think they had almost 100,000 pairs drop, and everybody was like, this is not gonna go further up. There were so many pairs that dropped, it's only gonna go further down,
Also,
the price is gonna plummet.
And for the re-releases were anticipated. So I mean, initially it didn't do so well, but today the shoe's at $1,200 at least.
Between $1,200 to $1,500, the price has only gone up.
Again, the 3 key factors here was a popular silhouette, was a big name collaboration, and Travis Scott shoes in the past have seen success.
It was an investment at maybe not early release, but you put it in, you managed to cop retail. Of course, $800 is a great exit. But even at $800, if you enter today, you can multiply your money twice over.
50% at least 50%. So
at least 50%. Still it's a great return for just 3 months, if you ask
barely,
me.
yeah, it's barely been 3 months. The final example is the Yeezy 750 light brown colorway, which is the OG shoe, the first shoe Kanye designed with Adidas. Now again, this was a big deal because this is the first time Kanye was making a brand new shoe since his exit with Nike, and it was his first of many shoes with Adidas since. I think immediately after release, because the craze was so high, the shoe was going for at least about anything between $1,000 to some even said about $5,000.
Yeah.
And then a re-release was announced, an online re-release was announced for the shoe. So sellers anticipated higher supply and started getting rid of the pair, and that's when resale dipped to just below $1,000, I think at $900.
Yeah.
But the re-release was not in the supply that people anticipated. And once again, the resale value shot above $1,000. So today, I think today the resale value isn't the $5,000, close to $5,000 mark it used to be, but it's at about, I think a popular size like a US 9 is still $2,200.
How we feel y'all can use this kind of information is by timing your purchases in the enthusiasm space. If you like a shoe, like a silhouette, maybe observe its trajectory over a little bit of time and accordingly time when you want to buy it and rotate. Not everybody has multiple lakh budgets to buy and buy and buy.
Also, if you're unsure on what you should invest in and what you shouldn't, just there's basic key factors. You know, look at how popular silhouette is in the past. You know, look what the collaboration is, what the release numbers are. All this information is easily available online.
Also, feel free to DM us. We have people who we talk to regularly. We follow these markets very closely, and we're happy to help out.
You can follow the Mainstreet TV page. We always keep updating the page with new sneaker releases, the big names as well as the smaller ones. You know.
And at least once a month, I think we would like to sit down and discuss the sneakernomics of these releases and see what might be a good fit to invest in and what might not. If you like the idea of that, make sure to drop a comment below and let us know what you think about it. And I think we'd love to maybe make this like a monthly series. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram at Mainstreet TV. If you want to shop, there's Marketplace by Mainstreet or WhatsApp here.
We're trying to get a bunch of early pairs in, you know. So if we tell you it's a smart investment, maybe try copying early.
Maybe try copying through us, if not anywhere else. But yeah, that's about it for today. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.